Hello, I'm Dr. Chris, and I was asked today to give you a little bit of information about how to check your rabbit out. So I'm going to show you a brief physical exam. That's something that you can easily do at home to make sure that your rabbit is healthy. The easiest way for me to do things is I start with the head and I work my way to the butt. So that way I can do a system and I'm not forgetting anything. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to check out the nose. We're going to check for any nasal discharge or boogers that are caught on the edge of the nose or in the corners here. If everything looks good, our next spot that we're going to check out is our eyeballs. Remember, we have two, one on each side. We're going to make sure that there's not any crusting of the eye. We want to make sure that the eye is clear. You can see through it. There's no problems. The rabbit is using the eye fully. It's not squinting. Then we go to the teeth. When you look at the teeth, they should be nicely aligned. I don't know if you can see this or not. Try to give you a better view. They should be nice top and bottom teeth lined up. One shouldn't be any longer than the other because they're going to constantly wear and be continuously growing. So if one gets out of line, it doesn't ever wear itself off. So done with the teeth. Next step that we're going to go is we're going to look at the ears. In the ears, one of the things that rabbits can get is what's called ear mites. We want to make sure that when we look in the ear canal, it's nice and clear. There's no crust. The rabbit doesn't scratch at its ears. That would be another sign of ear mites. There's lots of things that rabbits are prone to that will show up in the ears. So looking at ears is very, very important. Then I'm going to look at the overall coat of the rabbit. I want to make sure that there's not any signs of hair loss or itching or any of the rabbits chewing on it. I want it all to be the same length. I don't want any baldness or any little discolorations. Then I'm going to check toenails of the rabbit. There are 4 and a thumb on the front feet and just 4 in the back feet. So I want to clip those toenails up. The clipper that I like to use looks like this. It's kind of a scissors style. So what I'm doing is I'm taking that toenail and I'm just cutting the very edge of it off. If for some reason I make it bleed, there's a product called Quick Stop that you can use. I like to put some in the lid, lick my finger, and get some stuck on my finger. And then if I push this onto where the rabbit is bleeding, it will stop bleeding in seconds. You're not putting on a whole bunch of it because the rabbit can eat it off and he doesn't need to do that. But a little bit on there will make it stop bleeding immediately so that you don't have a white rabbit with blood everywhere. Then what we're going to do is we're going to take, at home you wouldn't have this option. Here I do. I am going to take and listen to the heart. Make sure there's not any murmurs or any lung sounds. The heart of the rabbit sits kind of right below the elbow. So you're putting the stethoscope right under the elbow and you'll be able to hear the heart and the lungs. Make sure you do it on both sides and that will help. When we go farther back, the internal organs sit behind the rib cage and back all the way to the pelvis. If we were going to feel or palpate for baby rabbits, this is where we would palpate. What they're going to feel like, depending on the age, is they're going to be the size of maybe a little bit smaller than golf balls, and you'll be able to feel little bumps in there. Once they get to a certain size, they're much harder to feel, but around 10 days, 2 weeks, you might be able to feel them if you have had a little bit of practice. Then we're going to flip the rabbit up. We're going to check its back feet. This is called the hock of the foot, and we're going to make sure that there's nothing called what's called a sore hock. So you're going to make sure that there isn't any patches of hair loss or open wounds on the foot. If there is, we need to put some mats or material so that this cage doesn't bother the feet. Then we're going to flip around. We're going to check the tail. We're going to make sure that it sits up straight, it's not broken. We're also going to look for any poop stuck anywhere. We're going to remove that if we need to. Sometimes rabbits will molt and there's some dead hair that can be removed. And that is a quick physical exam on this little black Mini Rex rabbit.